Season 7 is over and done with, and we begin Season 8 with a big tie in Europe. Let's see who we've got. Roll that title. Welcome back, everybody, to episode 34 of the Liechtenstein Challenge here with Vaduz, and today we start our Season 8 with Vaduz. Can you believe it? I certainly can't. I've just put it on this screen because I don't want to show any spoilers with regards to who we are playing in Europe. You will find out in a few moments. But I just wanted to show you a quick summary of the end of Season 7 after our defeat to Club Bruges in the Conference League, and show you the schedule and how the table finished, and some other interesting news that happened with regards to potential Champions League. Unfortunately, it didn't really happen, but we were close. And also show you an update with regards to transfers as well. Let's roll into it. So something I didn't see after the Club Bruges game coming, apparently Liechtenstein are the second nation behind England in the coefficient spots for the next season's UEFA Champions League. So apparently we may get a slot in the UEFA Champions League phase. I don't know, but yeah, I was not expecting this at the end of the video, but I'll keep you posted on this. But a bizarre email to come into my inbox. Not expecting it at all. After the away leg in Bruges, we had a 3-1 defeat to Lausanne, which meant we ended up in the Super League relegation group. We went undefeated though in this group, with wins against Servette, Stade Lausanne, Ushi and Thun, draws to Lugano and Lausanne, and let's show you the league table. In regards to the league table, we finished 7th on 52 points, top of the relegation group. Unfortunately, in our last game, we lost to Lausanne, therefore we couldn't qualify for the championship group, and as a result, we had to settle for the relegation group. Had we continued our form in the relegation group, we would have probably finished 5th. In the championship group, but due to the league split, we can only finish 7th. But finishing 7th after our run in Europe on 52 points as well, way clear of the relegation playoff and the relegation zone. A big surprise is Lugano getting relegated. They've been a team that have been in this division for quite some time, and it's quite a surprise to see that they have got relegated. They've had a really poor season. Stade Lausanne Ushi beat Jamax in the second tier to stay in the league. Servette having a bad season as well. In terms of the promotion group, St. Gallen winning the league for the second time in 3 years. Young Boys coming second, so missing out on that top place, and Basel coming third. Luzern 4th on 62 points, and then there was a huge gap to Zurich and Winterthur. With regards to the Challenge League, Aru have been promoted, Jamax came second but didn't win their playoff, and Bellinzona have been relegated. Another season where we have won the Liechtenstein Cup. 3-0 was the score against Shan. We deserved this victory completely, and that means we are in the qualifiers for the Conference League phase. And as you can see from the stats, we thoroughly deserved this victory. Just an update with regards to the coefficient places. We have moved up 152 places to 89th position, which is a massive improvement thanks to our run in the Europa Conference League. With regards to the coefficient spots, we narrowly, and I say narrowly, missed out on potentially getting a UEFA Champions League spot, which would have meant another Liechtenstein club would have got Europa Conference League. Due to Atlanta getting into the UEFA Europa League final, Italy got the last spot, and just, mind you, we were very, very close to getting that nation club coefficients. at the moment, Liechtenstein, we are 19th, so we've improved massively year on year. We've gone above the likes of Sweden, Switzerland, funnily enough, um, Romania, Bulgaria, Poland, Israel. So some big nations there. That probably will um, go down a little bit this season, but yeah, we've massively bumped that up, as you can see, from 30, 31. It was 20 in 29, 30. So that's the years that we've missed out on Europe or have got to the league phase but just not done anything. But we've gone up massively, and hopefully in future this will improve our potential to get into sort of these UEFA, Europa League and Champions League phases. I don't think that's going to be the case this season, but it was a nice little pipe dream to have that we maybe be in the Champions League, and that would have improved a lot of things at the club. Our first signing of season 8 is Gabriel Vinatoru from the Romanian club. Yeah, I'm not going to pronounce that. AFK. I'm not going to be able to pronounce that full name. Apologies. But we got this guy's report in fairly recently into the scouting center, and I instantly took a look at him and went, "Wow, that is quite remarkable for somebody at the age of 17." Um, there was a significant amount of interest from a lot of bigger teams like Inter, Napoli, and Freiburg, who I would argue are bigger teams than us. But we were able to secure him for 1.5 million. The only problem with this is that he does have a release clause of 6.5 million. The contract is for 3 years. We're paying him 6 grand a week, and he's going to be a star player, so he's going to be starting for us. He has got the one cap for Romania, so he obviously won't get Liechtenstein nationality. Not too disappointed about that, but my only slight concern is his form. But having looked at his stats, he's surely got to improve going forward. But I'm very happy with the signing. It's going to take a little bit out of the budget, but overall, I think potentially we've got a wonder kid here. And just on top of that Gabriel Vinatoru signing, I just wanted to show you the signings as of 2030-31, because that signing came in at the end of last season. As you can see, we haven't spent particularly a lot of money this summer. We have had some serious departures, though, in terms of some quality players. Let me just quickly go through the departures first. So the first one, unfortunately, is Vincent Burley. His contract was close to expiry, maybe a 1-2 season job. Unfortunately, there was a lot of clubs that were interested in him at the end of the season, and I don't blame them personally, because he's a very good player. I don't know why. I think it was Nimes who we took him off, or it was one of the French clubs anyway. Nimes' name he might have been on loan at. But Heidenheim signed him for 2.6, which was his release clause. Unfortunately, he left, which was a big blow to how we played last season. And the last couple of seasons, it's been really disappointing to let him go. But we have sort of replaced him, and we wish him well. Then a key player for me during the rise up the leagues with Vaduz, Lakembo Lakasso. He was on his last year of his contract, and I decided to cash him in. He wanted to go at the end when I tried to transfer him out. We've had a couple of unhappy players because of it. I understand it, but he's 28 years old, and he's not developing further. I wanted to give a chance to somebody else as well in terms of a DM, and he hasn't taken up Liechtenstein nationality because he's played for the Democratic Republic of Congo. An all-round good player. Can't say anything bad about him. Yeah, disappointed we lost him, but we sold him for £1 million, which is profit on what we brought him in for. Then Rene Bella, he was on loan last season. Hasn't developed as much as I hoped. and we just cashed in on him. 400 grand, potential of 600 grand as well. A couple of other players, Robert Hybers, who we've had for a couple of seasons, we eventually sold him to Sampdoria, of all people. I think he's gone instantly out on loan. Then Ruben Salci, who now has Liechtenstein nationality. His contract was going to expire. He was a backup keeper we had for a number of seasons, and he's gone. Hopefully, he might get in the Liechtenstein national team. That's obviously going to be the goal for him and for us in the future. Karoshia went on loan to, I believe it was, a Turkish club. Don't get me to pronounce their name. I'm not going to. Paris as well also went to Carlisle on loan. I thought, give him a chance. The guy we signed from Arsenal on a free. Luca Beck has also gone on loan. A funny one as well. I was talking about this as well. Marvin Boyer has gone on loan to Excelsior. He has not played a game for them as well, which is hilarious, since he wanted to leave to go to a bigger club. He had a release clause of 450k. Nobody matched it, and I decided to loan him out. Excelsior have picked him up, and I'm kind of like, I hope you rot on the bench, mate. That's my feelings towards him. Maybe he might come back. Maybe. But we'll see. At the moment, it's not looking like we're going to be able to renew his contract. So potentially, hopefully, he gets some game time in the Netherlands. If not, then he'd be a decent backup for somebody. And then Ryan Johansson, another one who was sort of in the last couple of years of his contract. I've loaned him out to a club in the Netherlands as well, RKC. He's nowhere near getting Liechtenstein nationality, so I've loaned him out. He's getting his wages paid there, I believe, and we're probably going to get rid of him just because he hasn't really developed as much as I hoped. Like I say, with a majority of these signings, they ought to try and get them into the Liechtenstein national team, but sometimes that doesn't happen. So in terms of incomings, there hasn't been anybody in particular who is outstanding, I would say. We spent 1.7 million. A majority of these are on young players. So Manfred Engler, who is a fullback, 16 years old, has gone straight into the under-18 team. Same with Salomon Montag. He's gone straight on loan to Balzers as another Liechtenstein club. Hopefully he'll do all right at Balzers and come back to us with better ratings, and potentially he can go on loan to another club, who knows, but he will be playing in Liechtenstein. That's the reason I've loaned him to Balzers, so that is a good thing for us. Rashid Bouakaye, I believe I said that right, signed on a free from Wolfsburg. Mainly just took a look at him on the free market and looked okay. Slotted straight into sort of our reserve under-19 team, and we'll see if we can get him out on loan. Potentially one for the future, but who knows. Another player who's gone straight into the under-18 team, Danny Spinrath. German, apparently, also Democratic Republic of Congo. Maybe that's a bug, I don't know. Interesting one anyway, if it is. But yeah, another one to try and maybe hopefully get into that Liechtenstein nationality at a young age. I've tried picking up players that are under the age of 18, so they get that 5 years, of it taking them getting nationality. So they spend that time with us in the under 16, under 17, under 18, up until the Vaduz 2 side, and hopefully get Liechtenstein nationality, and hopefully they develop. Another one we signed in terms of the under 18 team, Budzik from Ruch in Poland, 85 grand. I don't think he's too bad. He's got potential. That's the main reason I've signed him, and yeah, we'll see how he develops. So in terms of the first team, the only two players that I brought in so far, first one is Tavon Gray, who plays for Lillestrøm. We've got him in on loan. Basically, he is the replacement for the season at least for Vincent Burley, and he's been doing all right, to be fair. Can play across the back line. 5'11" is my only concern with him maybe playing in centre back. 28 years old. There is a potential to sign him permanently, but we will review that, I think, at a later date. But overall, for a loan, I don't think it's too bad. There was just nobody that took my fancy in terms of replacing Vincent Burley. So I think probably this season, maybe the January transfer window, we'll scout and have a look for a left back. And finally, a bit of an interesting one here. Sobotka from KJHM. I played this team a couple of years ago in the Conference League with Vaduz, and I was particularly impressed with our goalkeeper. I'm not sure if it was this player in particular, but in the end, I ended up scouting him, and he's been on my shortlist for a number of years now. His release clause was £1.4 million. So what I've done is I've signed him on the condition that he goes back on loan to KJHM, and hopefully he might develop a bit. But next season he will be with us, and I think he will be contesting the number 1 spot, maybe number 2. Obviously because we've got the young English goalkeeper that we signed from Queen's Park. I think it's Stretford. I'm going to show you that in a minute. But yes, I'm very happy with his signing, and hopefully he develops really nicely. 6'2". You know, the only thing that maybe he needs to improve on, technique and positioning, I would say. But I'm happy with that signing. Just a quick update with regards to transfer budget. We've got about 5 million in the bank, 15,000 in the wage budget, so I can spend a little bit if I need to on a new player going forward next season. Finances are looking sort of okay, but we need to be a little bit maybe cautious when it comes to who we sign. We should be fine though, I think, with finances. Let's get into the squad review. So in terms of the squad review, this is how we are looking for the season going ahead. As I mentioned, yeah, Charlie Setford is the second goalkeeper. You'll be happy to know that Tom Ritzy Hulsman has got his Liechtenstein nationality now, so he spent 5 seasons with us. His contract does expire at the end of the season, and to be honest, I'm potentially thinking of letting Tom go. He's been a good player for us, don't get me wrong, but he's starting to look lower on the terms of the potential ability. He's a good player. I just don't know if he is the keeper that will take us forward in this save. But let me know your thoughts on that. I'm not entirely 100% sure if I'm going to let him go or he's going to stay. With regards to the rest of the team, it's pretty much the same. The only additions are Gray, obviously. Weber's come into the first team. You probably maybe remember that from last season, but he's played a couple of more games this year. Diogo Rocha has signed a contract extension for us. He's now got a release clause of 5 million if anybody wants him. But the reason that I signed him is his nationality for Liechtenstein is very, very close. It's only 3 seasons, and he'll probably end up staying here for 3 seasons. Elias Mesonero is also another one. He's got another extension to his contract. Impact sub now, but is also very close to Liechtenstein nationality. That goes for the same for Rodrigo Rego. His contract expires in 2033, but as you can see, his Liechtenstein nationality is very close. So potentially one to play for Liechtenstein in the future, and maybe in a couple of seasons we might look at replacing Rego. Also, Dorian Debachki is really close to getting his nationality for Liechtenstein, so we've kept him in. Probably going to say goodbye to Debachki at the end of next season. Hasn't really developed as a 24-year-old since we brought him in from Aru. 130 grand we paid for him. As you can see, a lot of 6.7s. Hasn't really developed as much as I hoped. But then again, I've sacrificed a couple of players with regards to getting Liechtenstein nationality to hopefully improve the Liechtenstein national team. We've also brought in, as I mentioned last season, Krachovil, who we signed from Seska in the Czech Republic. He has come in because Nicolau has wanted to request to leave the club. So he's currently in the reserves and is going to be leaving on a free transfer. So we're trying to get rid of him. So the reason why Krachovil is in the first team is because of that, and also he's very, very close as well, if I'm not mistaken, to getting that Liechtenstein nationality, which is really good. Yeah, I'm not really interested in players who don't want to be here anymore, so that's the reason why he's in the first team. So that's a bit of a squad overview. I'm going to take you through now to the schedule and the table. We're just going to quickly go through those so we can get straight into this massive game in Europe. So here is the schedule after 9 games in the Super League. As you can see, it hasn't gone smoothly. We've had a bit of a rough spell, especially in August. I'm just going to quickly gloss over these results. So we started off with a 3-0 victory away to Winterthur. Goals from Sommer, Oidendenk and Araj, making it 3-0 to us. A very good start of the season, I must add. Then a disappointing 3-1 defeat to Young Boys. We probably didn't deserve to lose this match, but we probably could have sneaked a draw. But yeah, Rodrigo Rego sort of didn't help us. Dick Oidendenk with the goal in the 10th minute. It was at half time. It was 2-1, but unfortunately, Young Boys just had a bit more quality than us. Then a 1-1 draw to Stade Lausanne Ushi. Again, we probably should have won, but just didn't take our chances in the end. And a frustrating defeat to Lausanne, 1-0 at home in the 94th minute. You can tell how frustrated I would have been at this game. Yeah, I wasn't particularly happy. Speaking of bogey teams as well, Zurich's another one, and we lost 3-2 to them. Claudio with a goal in the 2nd minute, but we decided to not even turn up after that. Goals from Macaulay, Kransky and Mofba in the 45th and the 69th minute, respectively. Gustavo Quatra got us back to 2-2, but it wasn't enough, and this was another disappointing result away from home. Then 3 draws in a row. First to St. Gallen 1-1. A 2-2 draw to FC Thun, who are surprisingly doing okay in the Super League this season so far. Then a 0-0 draw to Lausanne. And just before this game in Europe, we followed that Lausanne draw with a 2-0 win at home to Servette, thanks to goals from Luque Nataro and Oidendenk. In terms of the table, that's put us in 9th on 10 points. We are 5 points clear of the relegation playoff, and we're only 4 points behind Lausanne, who are in 4th in the European places. Basel look to be going out as the leaders so far, but Thun are right behind them. So are Zurich. St. Gallen, funnily enough, who won the league last year, are struggling a little bit. But it looks like it's going to be Aru, Winterthur and Stade Lausanne Ushi who might be in that relegation fight. And we need to look over our shoulder. But let's get into the European fixtures and then we'll get straight into this big match in Europe. Our first game in Europe was against Glentoran in the second qualifying round. We went to Northern Ireland with a 1-1 draw to take home to Vaduz thanks to a goal from Luque Nataro. Dara McBreen scoring in the 77th minute for Glentoran. That was then followed up with a 2-1 win against Glentoran at home, thanks to Theo Golliard, who really saved our bacon in this game. As you can see from the stats, we should have won this match, but unfortunately FM didn't like us this time. Then in the third qualifying round, we got a home tie against Trnava of Slovakia. This wasn't as comfortable as it looked. We won 3-1 thanks to goals from Siddiqui and Lampert, but an own goal in the 22nd minute did help Trnava in the next tie. Rodrigo Rego with the own goal. Our trip to Slovakia was not fun. Trnava scored in the first couple of minutes thanks to a goal from Franco. Luckily, Clemens Padel did equalise in the 20th minute. A nice assist from Sommer here. Padel just puts it in the bottom left-hand corner and it was 1-1. Unfortunately, Trnava scored another goal, making it 4-3 on aggregate, and then it got to 4-4 on aggregate, which was not particularly nice. A 4 with that goal. But in the 90th minute, Quatra plays a ball to Padel and makes it 5-4 on aggregate, and we did not take it to extra time. Luckily, we made it through. Just though. In our final qualifying round, it was much more comfortable though. 3-0 to Rijeka of Croatia. Goals from Oydendijk, Padel and Quatra in the first leg to basically see us through to the league phase. It was a 2-2 draw in Croatia, but that was enough thanks to the home leg, and we got ourselves through to the league phase for a second year in a row. With those victories in the league phase qualifying rounds, we got a tie against Besiktas, who their manager has said we are minnows. So I'm looking forward to this match, and if we can beat them, I will be very happy. But we also have matches against Podbrezva of Slovakia, Miroslav Boleslava from Czech Republic. Hope I pronounced that right. And then we've got Vojvodina of Serbia, if I'm not mistaken. We have 2 home games in a row there. And then we also play another team from Serbia, Beograd. Not going to even pronounce their first name. Finishing off with an easy name to pronounce, FC Midtjylland of Denmark. And I believe that will be the next match in the next episode of the Liechtenstein Challenge. This is the lineup we're going to go with for the game against Besiktas this evening. It's going to be Hulsman in goal, Siddiqui, Rocha, Weber and Gray in defence, Schubert, Azor, Goliard, Sommer and Luque Nataro in midfield. And up front, it's Dick Oydendijk. In terms of the bench, it's pretty straightforward. Not particularly anybody major missing. The only players that are missing out this evening will be Tobias Feniger and Gabriel Vinatoru. You may be disappointed with that, but he is currently not 100% fit, and I do not want to risk him for this match against Besiktas, especially when Oydendijk has been scoring a lot of goals, and I'd like to give Sani a chance as well. Here we are for the game with Besiktas. We are going with our standard 4-3-3. I've been looking through this Besiktas team, and it is very strong, so it's going to be a tough tie tonight. They have got some ex-La Liga and Prem players in here, so it's not going to be as easy as I'd hoped, but we will give it our best shot. Europe's going to be a priority yet again for us this season, so let's see how we get on. Goliard looks a little bit injured there. This is very strange, I must admit. Has he just faked an injury to get a free kick there? Something's up here, though. Goliard is in range. Doesn't lead to anything, but it's going in. It's going in anyway, David Azor, but it might be offside. That was very strange, a free kick, I must admit. Yeah, it's been disallowed, but I must admit, really odd. Goliard was injured. Sommer makes the shot. Oydendijk's offside. Azor's fine, but it's Oydendijk, unfortunately. Would have been a good start, though. First 25 minutes or so into the game, and it looks like Besiktas are dominating it after that early offside goal for us. But we have regained the ball here, looking at Taro, but unfortunately we've lost it straight away. Like I say, they've got Rafa Mir, who used to play for Sevilla, if I'm not mistaken. I thought he played for Dortmund when I was looking at him earlier, but I think I've got him mixed up with another Turkish player. And Rafa Mir, as soon as I say he's scored. But he might be offside. I don't think he is, though. He looked a little bit on, yeah. Unfortunately, we are 1-0 down. I can't say Besiktas don't deserve it. Baris Alpha, I think that is, or Alpia, plays a lovely ball into there to Rafa Mir, and Roshan Weber should really do better, to be honest. I'd probably argue Gray should do better there. He shouldn't even let the pass go in. But we're 1-0 down. We're going to have to react from this. Here's another highlight. Sommer gets the ball. He's going on a crazy run here. 3 players still can't catch him. And Dick Oydendijk, the big man from the Netherlands. He's on a bit of a roll at the moment, and he deserves it. That was a tremendous run from Sommer. He's really come into his own, Sommer, recently. When I signed him for £1 million, I was like, I wasn't too keen on him. But he's one of the players this year that I'm glad we haven't lost. because there was interest in him, definitely. But a very even game now after that early goal from Besiktas there. Free kick to Besiktas. Cartel Kayara. Oh, that was a great free kick. Not too far off our off getting a corner there. Hulsman, I think, had it. But yeah, definitely worth a point at half time. Besiktas have had more possession. We've had slightly better XG though, but not too bad so far. Gonna say to the players, we've done well. We've competed against a team that is a big team in Turkey, one of the big three in Istanbul. If it were to finish at the moment, we would finish 19th in the league phase. Just jump myself up to 18th there. I mean, we're doing all right. I probably should have brought Goliard off at half time, but he seems to be doing okay. But he may be my first substitute. Let's see. We've got a highlight now. Sherbet, Taro, Azoa, Siddiqui. Nice play this from us. Goliard, Sommer. Can he find Goliard again? He can. Oh, Goliard! Theo Goliard. Chance to make it 2-1. And a shock. The Besiktas manager. It's a highlight for them now. Rafamia goes down really easily, but Yilmaz scores 2-1. I think Noah Lampert will be coming on. I don't really see the need to change anything else. Maybe Weber for Rodrigo Rego. And maybe switch around Azoa for Schubert. But yeah, I just think that injury might be hampering away a little bit there. We've brought on Clemens, Claudio, and Rodrigo Rego to see if they can change anything. I'm just looking at our fitness level for our two main men up front, Sommer and Oidendenk. They're looking a little bit tired. Besiktas, though, seem to be having a little bit more joy with the ball now. Rafa Mia, Ibrahim. Ball into Rafa Mia. It's 3-1. Unfortunate, but yeah, you can see sometimes how these teams end up in the Conference League are better than the rest of it. It's a great header, to be fair, but I mean, Hulsman, you can see why I've had the doubts about Hulsman. Doesn't look like we're going to get anything, though, unfortunately. Unfortunately, a 3-1 defeat there to Besiktas. I'm just going to say to them, I'm proud of their efforts, even if it wasn't a B. We definitely gave them a match. I mean, that's not the end of the world where we are. Boleslav do have 3 points, which is our next opponent, I believe. Oh no, it's Podbrezova, I think. I think they're our next opponent. Who did they play? That is the big question. Ah, right, okay, they played Sheriff and they beat them 5-0. All right. Well, unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be there against Besiktas. They were much the better side, but we gave them a game, I will say, definitely. Looking at the stats, we could have easily got a second goal in that match, but it wasn't meant to be. I think the right thing to do, though, is to show the Michelin game next instead of the remaining fixtures in the Europa League. I'll obviously do an update with regards to the fixtures and the table when we get to that in the next video. But if you have enjoyed the video today, please don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel, especially if you're new. Thanks very much for watching. Take it easy. Stay safe. Bye, everybody.